Yes.
Thank you very much, Comrade Spokesperson, for a strong inaugural brief for this important year, which is the year we've been waiting for. You know, when we're talking about 5 million, because I don't think any of these guys took us seriously because they never thought that the year we're talking about will soon be with us. So this is the year, and I'm so elated by the brief because it clearly articulates our roadmap strategy to elections and how we are proud with the journey we have covered thus far. So once again, thank you very much, Comrade Spokesperson, for that. Once again, welcome, Comrade Deputy Spokesperson, Comrade Sanyatwa. We indeed hope that we'll have a wonderful, fantastic working relationship as led by the spokesperson, Comrade Mchangwa, guiding us and all of us, and also our colleagues from the media help us to welcome here as well. And I hope you also have a good working relationship akin to that we have carved with under Comrade Mchangwa in the period proceeding. So congratulations also, both of you, for reuniting with the department once more. It connects with the confidence that the first secretary, being the president and indomitable candidate for the 2023 harmonized elections, Comrade Mnangagwa, has on you. Thank you once again, and congratulations once more. The opportunity goes to the media to raise questions with the spokesperson, if any. I must say, this year will be much more full of these engagements. So the opportunity goes on to you to prompt or engage the spokesperson on any other matters, including those that have not been raised and those that have been raised. The opportunity goes on to you. Over to you, comrades from the media.
It's an open book. Any question under the sky, we answer. We are ready. Yes.
My colleague from ZFM.
Ambassador, I understand from your statement you mentioned that you want to target the rural vote and engage in mass voter registration exercise. As a party, we understand that you target 5 million votes. And what
you know, if you consider that 60 to 70% of Zimbabwe population, probably it's more than 70%,
yes,
is rural. So if you work very hard with the rural constituencies, you are assured of more seats in both the Senate and the House of Assembly, but you are also assured of a definite majority for our candidate, President E.D. Mnangagwa, simply by the rural vote alone. So we are determined to hold on to that vote, and if you see the distribution of inputs we are doing, if you see the support which we are giving to agri-tax officials, motorbikes, laptops, all these phones, cell phones, so that they can monitor the crops in rural areas, because the most important thing for rural people is food security. So we are delivering that to rural people. We are going out of our way to revive the livestock sector of Zimbabwe, because that suits rural people. We are having 10,000 dams, more than the whole of SADC combined. We have 10,000 in Zimbabwe. The challenge, how do we take the water to the fields? So we are moving away from reliance on the weather. The weather is capricious. You can never know when it will fall, on the day you are planting, maybe it doesn't, the seed rots. But if you have got center pivots, if you've got solar pumps being delivered from boreholes, which have been drilled by the Second Republic, then even the little water which may be available goes into a short field, intensively cultivated in a Pfumvudza field. This is a phenomenon which the president was saying in Senegal to his colleagues, who were saying, how have you managed it? Because the continent has been jolted by the Ukraine war, where Ukraine was supplying 80% of Africa's cereal consumption on the market. So Zimbabwe is on the right track by doing what it is doing. These things appeal to the voter. I told you, what is the compact between ZANU PF and the voter? It is the promise of a better life which made so many people sacrifice their own lives that led to us getting independence. So if ZANU PF does not deliver a better life, then it will have failed those who fought. It will also have failed the people of Zimbabwe, and it would have failed Africa, which was very supportive of our liberation struggle. So that's why we are focusing on the raw vote. But we are not stopping there. The growth of the mining sector means urbanization. New towns are cropping up. There's drilling of oil going on, so the Kanyemba area will soon become a major urban center. There's the town which is mushrooming up in Manize. Are you aware that there's now a new bridge on the Munyati River, joining Vuma to the steel plant and on to Tef Town? New bridge, high-level bridge, done in less than 6-7 months by the company which is building the steel plant. These are new urban centers which are cropping up. We have young people, 60,000 of them, maybe more, involved in gold mining, which has never been an industry before. I've mentioned how they are successful they are. They now contribute 20 tons out of the 34 tons. This is money to young people who never... We have a new phenomenon in the party. Young, rich gold miners coming to stand up for candidates for the elections in the party. So some of the old Madaras are getting jittery because new blood is coming into the party who are appreciative of the wealth which is being generated by the policy of President Idi Mnangagwa. So when young people come to the party and their wealth, they got money, we are happy with that because it means that we are delivering on the promise of prosperity. That's why there are so many, this for ED, it's a mass movement. Teachers for ED, miners for ED, doctors for ED, trade unions for ED. We are going to be forming the biggest trade unions.
We also now have a triple C for ED.
Yeah. Oh, I'm told we now have triple C for ED. So this is a reflection of the contagion of happiness coming out of hope, which the president is giving in overflowing abundance to the Zimbabwe electorate. It means that even the urban people are happy just to see the amount of vehicles. If you try to go from one town to the other at 5 o'clock, it's a pain. Yet, 3-4 years ago, there were petrol queues everywhere. People were, now there is a service station almost every 20 meters along the highway. And there is no shortage of fuel. Yes, we have a challenge with the shortage of power. Why? Because power which was being used from Kariba to support bulbs now, it's now wanted for the industrial production. The industrial production index is going up. So these things have a spillover effect in the urban electorate because we are delivering prosperity to the urban electorate. There is new urban growth, and it is not coming from those Ngoma, Zema councillors, Zema mayors, the MDC. I mean, look, Minsk is a good town in Belarus, thoroughly modern, clean. The mayor of Harare says, I'm Zimbabwean. If there's an opportunity to work with Minsk in a sister-city relationship, I'll do so. What does this party do? They start criticizing him. Criticizing him for looking for friends who can help develop, invest in your town. You see, there's this sickness in MDC mind, where anything which is progressive and it is not coming from America, it must be chided or pilloried. But what if I asked the Americans, I said, look, we are fair. You want the Zimbabwe cake, put your dollar on the table. The Chinese are putting their dollar. The Indians are putting their dollar. The Turkish are putting their dollar. The UAE is putting their dollar. Where is the American dollar? It is waiting for the day when the MDC becomes the ruler of Zimbabwe. So if that day never comes, Are you, America, going to be watching this bonanza of riches, which Zimbabwe is becoming on the bylines? No. America has decided to change tack. So there goes the invitation to Frederick Shaw, come to the Africa Summit on behalf of Zimbabwe. So they are finding a way where they will smoothen the day when even President Mnangagwa will be going to China, to America. If we can help by making sure that those who lose elections do not cause trouble, maybe they can help their friends to come to the table so that they can also become part of the economic success which is Zimbabwe. But MDC ne Shaisan, ichatanga kushaisana ma-Americans. They will provoke trouble even if the elections are clean, so that America can always find an excuse not to come back to Zimbabwe. So they become prisoners of their own, hanging yourself by your own petard. That's what they will do. So, look, I'm hoping that Chamisa, by knowing that the Americans were here, he can help them by being more positive and outreach to other Zimbabweans from ZANU PF and try to make this country be more constructive and positive about itself. Don't hate your brother because you cannot take the position of number one only. Somebody is bound to be number one. And if the election system says you are not, abide by the outcome, then Zimbabwe will make progress. Thank you.
Yes. Joseph,
let him follow up, then we go. Is there a follow-up?
You mentioned the clean election. How critical is a peaceful build-up to the elections? And there is this talk from the opposition that there is use of state institutions to stifle their campaign processes. For example, the Modibro incident where they said police came and disrupted the private meeting. How do you respond to that?
Look, everybody in this country enjoys some of the most enviable peace, law, and order on the African continent. It is only when it comes to the politics of the MDC that we start criticizing the police. Mm-hmm. They all sleep in their houses being guarded by the Zimbabwe Republic Police. Yes. They walk the roads, their purses are never stolen because they are MDC. They walk the road, they are never beaten on the street because they are MDC. And if they are beaten, the police does not ask whether you are MDC in order to arrest the person who has beaten you. So in all departments of police work, everybody is happy with the police. Everybody applauds the police work. Now it comes to political issue of you not winning an election. You start blaming the Zimbabwe state. You can't have your bed and lie on it at the same time. Mm-hmm. You can't have a cafeteria approach. If you want the Zimbabwe state, you respect it across the board. But because they are unhappy with their electoral outcomes, they want to find an scapegoat. Rather than target ZANU PF, they now target the institutions of the state, the police. So, in America, if you go against the state, ask President Trump. He was put at Capitol Hill. He was reminded that George Washington, the revolutionary of America was called George Washington, for those who don't know history. 1774, he established a republic called the United States of America, George Washington. If in America you go against the American state, you rue the day you did it, like Trump is doing. The MDC always tries to have an issue with the Zimbabwe state. Kana zvakadaro endai munoiturika tikozoedza weisusu kuda kuita mahumbwe nenyika because you are jealous of the generation which made you free. This is the shaisano yandataura here MDC. So look, the president has said we want peaceful elections. Mm-hmm. We are going out of our way to have peaceful elections. Mm-hmm. And by the way, if people brawl Pandari, don't go and report kuna journalists or reporter we MDC anaenda kunotsvaga vanhu varovana Pandari oridzira mutsvangwa phone kuti naye mutsvangwa ZANU PF inofunge chine vanhu varova Pandari. I mean, there are 16 million people in Zimbabwe. They are bound to be quarrels over girlfriends. They are bound mwaka abira akanosimudza mari vaimwanga akatiyambe vakamubira. Where people are, there will never be a shortage of petty feuds. But all the questions come to me. Meno zvaitika kuchecheche. Varwa ikoko. Saka ZANU-PF inoti chide vanhu varwa ikoko. Ndotobvunzwa imi. And that's the journalism. Please go on to the police. Tiende kumapurisa because mapurisa are biased. But wakararamba makwewe usiku iwowa unakana aboya akakugoka akakurova usiku because mapurisa are maintaining law and order. Ipapa chete pekutsvaka ZANU-PF ndopoti mapurisa ari, it's either the police are good or they are not good. And in this country, anybody who commits murder, the police eventually catches up. They are not. This is the efficiency of our police. In this country, if you do anything against somebody criminal, you get accounted for. This is the Zimbabwean police. That's why our peace index is one of the best on the African continent. Peace compliance. South Africa, kupfura munhu nepfuti statistic. In Zimbabwe, kubaya munhu nebanga inews. You see the difference? I'm not gloating about our neighbors from South Africa, but this is the quality of the police we have. But MDC inechigumbu nemapurisa iwayo vedwe, and you are also making sure that the economy does not work so that they don't get paid properly because the economy yarowa nema-sanctions. Then the next thing you complain kuti mapurisa haana chakati. Can you at least canvas paunoenda kuAmerica kuti okay, takavenga ZANU-PF asi support yawo mapurisa edu ayo, we want security sector reform, mutibvisire mapurisa iwayo vakarwira nyika, vanonzi vakarwira nyika tiise vedu isu. Zvino ikoko hakusvikikiba. Yeah, because that is a compact of blood. We have our state which was born out of the sacrifice of each and every family in Zimbabwe. So we will not compromise on that ticket. The MDCs to learn to reconcile and reach out to the police and to the state apparatus of Zimbabwe, because that is what makes Zimbabwe stand as a country. Pakaitika chaos ipo paya papa hapachina Zimbabwe toenda kuSomalia. So this is a call to MDC. They should reach out to the state apparatus, to the police, build relationships, and see that we work in a peaceable manner with the arms of the state so that there's law and order in the country.
In fact, they went and fetched that Mveve guy, that serial murder, Jack.
Yeah.
He was fetched from Mozambique on his way fugitive. And the whole nation was in celebration. It attested to what you're talking about.
Yes. That guy who was running around, rampaging and killing people, he was accounted for. Yeah, this is the Zimbabwe Republic Police. Can't you applaud when your police force is so good instead of canning them because you want the police to deliver an electoral victory for you? The police don't vote on behalf of the nation. They only vote as individuals. They don't have the numbers to make you win. So attacking them for your loss in the election is not the right thing. Please appeal to the electorate so that you can win. That's what we advise the MDC and Triple C. You want to say?
What's the position you have to Comrade Masenga with the UP chair of National University? You were suspended and later his suspension was lifted. What is the position?
Well, the party organs which are responsible for discipline in the party are busy with the matter. It would look like that certain procedures had not been followed. So now they are being followed. I think we can't prejudge the outcome of what they are doing, but it is a fact that something may have been done without the due process of the party. I am not prejudging the merits or otherwise of what is at issue, because that is the work of that organ of discipline in the party. But I can assure you that a letter was written and investigations are on course, and in the meantime, his position in the party remains.
Another question? There being no further question, I must say once again, thank you very much, our colleagues from the media. It's been a good start. It actually has been very long since we last had this discussion. The spokesperson missed you. We also missed you too, and I'm pretty sure you really missed all of us. And today, on this occasion, he has answered every other question that you might have wanted to ask today, tomorrow, and the next day. So I'm sure the next 48 hours we are free from calls because everything has been attended to.